Today we're going to look at the Eos Lux, a new full-sized model from Cybex, sold with both the seat and bassinet for anywhere between $400 and $600, which makes it a potential competitor on the budget end of the market for parents looking to get a stroller from birth. So let's get started then, going over the model from top to bottom and examining its advantages and disadvantages in terms of child comfort, ease of use, performance, and mechanics, before ending with a discussion of which uses and environments it will best suit. And starting off with some stats, the Eos Lux clocks in at 11.6 kilos and folds down to roughly 56 by 60 by 92 centimeters as two separate pieces. It can take 22 kilos in the seat and 5 kilos in the underslung shopping basket. When it comes to child comfort, the Eos has a bucket seat design with decent upright and reclined positions, and, size-wise, measures 32 centimeters in width and 97 in length, which is okay, though a tad on the short side, providing acceptable comfort for children up until around 3 years old or so. Textile quality is acceptable on the seat, for the price at least, though the bassinet components do feel cheaper than those for the seat in my opinion, especially in terms of the mechanical bits like buttons, zippers, and struts. As far as the canopy is concerned, it has both a good extension section with a coverable ventilation window and a sun flap that together provide quite extensive sun coverage. Moving on to parent comfort, the Eos's handle is adjustable over 3 positions between 101 and 112 centimeters in height, while the shopping basket is acceptably large and accessible, however, like the bassinet, a little on the cheapish side and low in terms of weight capacity for a model of this size. With regards to folding, the Eos can sort of be folded down to a single piece with the seat facing forwards, but the process is awkward and bulky, and the folded package will be a lot more compact if you break it down into 2 pieces instead. That being said, even as 2 pieces, the Eos is not, in my opinion, an ideal model for a heavily car-based lifestyle, simply due to its weight and size. As far as the feel of using the Eos is concerned, the overall feeling of the chassis is quite solid and substantial, excelling in this respect beyond what's common in my experience with most, though not all, of Cybex's other Gold Line strollers. Though, when it comes to the individual activation mechanisms on the model, many of them require 2 hands, and there are a few places, such as the oddly backwards handle regulation mechanism, removing the wheels, or the locking flap for the chassis, where the model may feel a bit fiddly or counterintuitive until you get used to it. When it comes to driving, the Eos lacks rear frame suspension, but does have good-sized wheels, 11 inches in the back and 8 in the front, and is capable of handling harder urban terrain like cobblestones, snow, and off-roading in city parks. And on top of this, the model's good center of weight also makes it comfortable to maneuver and tip as well. Alright, let's move on to the mechanics of the Eos then, starting off with the handle, the folding system, and the overall structure of the chassis, where the handle has a hinged adjustment mechanism, which, in my experience, can sometimes be more of a loosening or breaking risk than telescopic setups, though does have the positive quality of being less internally complex. And the same positive of internal simplicity is also present with the folding system, where the Eos uses a pair of triggers with a safety button on one side to navigate between only 2 positions, open and closed, which then has allowed the internal components of the central hub to be built somewhat minimalistically as well, reducing the risk of alignment issues down the road. Looking at the overall structure of the chassis, the Eos has good cross support and has solid, reinforced connections, and while some looseness is inevitable over time, I foresee this model as holding up relatively well, and at least not loosening much side to side, which is more problematic in my experience than vertical loosening. Moving down to the rear frame of the model, there's again no suspension unfortunately. The brake system has Cybex's standard rotation-based setup, which has at this point generally shown itself to hold up pretty well, and I like the use of metal as opposed to the plastic-coated pins that they use with some of their models. The rear wheels sit a tad loose, but not to the point where I'd anticipate any real problems, and the rims, axles, and ball bearings are all decently put together. The tires have a wear-resistant foam, but are a bit plasticky and don't provide much traction for use in slippery environments. Looking lastly at the front frame, the front wheels are again quite large, which helps a lot for the model's terrain capability. The Eos has standard suspension built into the front forks and decent swivel locks of a type that they've used on several models at this point that tend not to develop problems. As far as the connection between the front forks and the front frame housings are concerned, the wheels sit a little loose, but definitely tighter than I'm used to with Cybex models in general, and as a result, I don't expect wobbling to be a common issue with the Eos down the line. So, would I recommend getting the Eos Lux then? If you're looking for a full-sized model to use from birth, your lifestyle preferably doesn't involve too much driving, and budget is a key factor for you, then yes, at this price point, definitely. Despite not being the most user-friendly model in some ways, and the fact that there are a few places where the need to keep costs lower is evident, such as with the bassinet and shopping basket elements, in my opinion, the Eos is well built and durable beyond its price class, and the fact that it also provides a decent degree of terrain capability and comes with both the seat and bassinet makes it a strong contender when it comes to budget strollers, especially on the lower end of its price range. In any case, we hope you found this video interesting, and if you did, please subscribe, as this sort of support really helps us to continue making videos in the future. In addition, if you're currently shopping for a stroller, we have a buyer's guide on our Patreon page which lists a wide range of models that we recommend, with a lot of technical and lifestyle related information. You can find it by following the link in the description. Thank you.